Good morning. Welcome to FYI. For your information, guys, it's December 5th, 2022. We're almost at the end of the year. Believe it or not, we are well now into the Christmas season. So happy holidays to each and every one of you. Happy holidays. Hope you guys are spending it well, working hard, and closing the year on a very strong note. And that is our hope and our wish for each and every one of you. Those of you who are joining us on YouTube, those of you who are joining us on Facebook, you joining us on LinkedIn and Twitter, welcome to each and every one of you. We trust that you guys are great. We trust that you guys are well, and we trust that it's a productive week ahead of all of us. Welcome. I see Beatrice Selby is already here, and Pamela, Yolanda Thomas is here, Rihanna Mingo, Rihanna, Margaret Daily Hope, and Gully God is here. Blessings, Silbert, Stuart is here too, and Claire Alexis, Charmley Richmond, Maureen Williams is here too, Annette Cummins, and Gloria Chester. Gloria, how are you? How's the East Bank corridor? How's Diamond? Do let us know. Trust you guys are having a fantastic start to your day. We wish you nothing less. We see Patricia Gravesandi is here. Patricia, how are you too? And Joel Ward, all our favorite folks, and Siobhan McDonald is here as well. Rena Cummins is here. Rena's Lower East Bank, and she can tell us what's happening at Providence and Peters Hall and all of those nice communities there. Mona Moore is here with us too. Mona Moore is here. Alfred Potts, not to be left out, and Isabella Butters. Good to see you, Isabella. Good to see you, Jacqueline Argyle, Ayabo, Natasha Congraves. Great to see you folks. Wherever you're joining us from at home or in the diaspora, make sure all of this. Come on, guys, you share the live stream. Smash that emoji button for us as well, guys. Do that for us, and we're going to ask you to partner with us too, folks, so we can keep on keeping on. It's Monday, folks. It's Monday. Do let us know too if you're hearing us loud and clear. All of the technicians on duty, do let us know. Ensure we cross post to all the right places. We share to all the right places, guys. It probably should be second nature to you folks by now to share the link, whether back to your Facebook page, whether back to WhatsApp. Mabel King, have you done so? Joy, Pamela Joy. Lorraine Peters here too. Good morning, Lorraine. Great to see you. And Robin Ryan. Good to have you too. Good to have Timna Ford. Good to see you, Timna. How was the weekend, guys? How was the weekend? We trust that you guys have had a good weekend. We had some rain over the weekend at our end. Got in some family time. Got in some self-care time, folks. Did a couple laps yesterday around the National Park. Hope you guys took good care of yourselves as well. Really hope that you guys took good care of yourselves yesterday. More Erwin Don Cook. Erwin says loud and clear. Thank you, Technician Cook, who's on the job. Ayabo Natasha says loud and clear. Thank you, Technician. Congraves, thank you so much. Guys, welcome. I saw a comment there that says, Wickenham is watching. Mona Moore says Wickenham is watching. Here's the folks. Some folks doing the most in Wickenham with the registration process for candidates for local government elections. They're telling us that Wickenham doing the most. Them boys doing the most in Wickenham. And we can talk a little bit more about that during the course of the week as we get more information. The boys doing the most in Wickenham. The last time there was a big problem there with some candidates that said they received the requisite signatures. The only thing the people who quote unquote put the signatures, they said it wasn't them. Purported to put the signatures there, they said it wasn't them. Thanks very much. They said it wasn't them. They didn't put the signatures. Folks, lots of things happening this morning, lots of things in the news, in the headlines, in the papers, locally, regionally, internationally. Lots of things happening. I saw the Ghana Chronicle yesterday put out two apologies on their front page. One in which they were apologizing to the Liberty and Justice Party leader, Mr. Lennox Schumann. They were offering an apology and a retraction. They said that some articles published previously impugned the character of Mr. Schumann, and they were apologizing, but they were clear to distance themselves. It says the last editor-in-chief happened under his watch. It happened under the last editor-in-chief, but it was the other apology and retraction for me, because here they were apologizing to Member of Parliament German Figuera, again, for what they're saying, comments contained in an article they published, which was injurious to the reputation of the MP German Figuera, who's also the chair of the Public Accounts Committee. But this clearly did not occur on the last editor-in-chief watch, because they didn't say so here. So one wonders what's happening there now. What is happening there now? They got a lot of apologizing to do. The way they go on, they'll have a lot of apologizing to do. You know, all you gotta do is practice good journalism. Practice good journalism, and the rest is gonna follow. You know, but slander, libel, and all the other stuff I've seen myself. Slander and libel in this newspaper. You see? All right, so there's not a lot of apologizing to do moving forward, folks. Yep, some of the things we're seeing, folks, are happening in the morning papers. Some stuff happening close to your end as well. Just touching on a couple issues before we get into some of the headlines in the morning papers. But saw in Sabbath News that there's a company that's being set up. They said this ship repair facility at Supply, the impact study has been waived, and we've been chronicling these impact studies, these environmental impact studies, and all of that. And the fact that the waiving of them seemed to be the norm. The waiving of it seemed to be the norm and not the exception. So that's one of the things making the news this morning. Yet another project, yet another company, and the impact study has been waived. These impact studies are very, very important. It will tell us, if whether this company is coming close to Moore or in Don Cook or one of us, if it is good to have it there based on the emissions that might come from the company, the noise, the what have you, whether it's good to be in close proximity with housing areas. But again, we see them waiving this impact study for what is termed as a ship repair facility at Supply and Leaseback. Yep. So very, very interesting, folks. Very, very interesting. We got a lot of other stuff happening in the morning papers. We think you ought to know about Isabella Butters and Don Cook, Tessa Isaacs, Graves Andy, and all the other guys. Janice Booker, John McDonald, and all the other folks who are joining us, guys. A lot of other stuff happening in the morning papers. But we really trust that you guys have had a great weekend and that your week, folks, we're almost ending the first week in December, is off to a fantastic start as we begin the second week. Folks, we are almost at half month for the last month of the year, right? We're almost there. NK Millington, good to see you there. Glenford Garden and all the other folks, share the live, guys, as you come on. Smash that emoji button for us, please, and thank you. We'll be so grateful as we head to some of the things making the morning papers today, folks. A couple of the issues making the morning papers. What about some of the headlines happening by you already know? Somebody sent us some screenshots of the New York Post the other day. It's slipping me right now who it is, but we were so grateful for that, to get a glimpse of some of the headlines making the news at your end there, folks, in New York. We were grateful. And again, folks, as you know, we're just talking about what's happening with the waiver of that impact study for that ship repair facility at Supply. And here's one of the headlines making the morning papers. Gas to energy agreement cannot be released now. And this is according to the Minister of Natural Resources, aka the assistant to FYI, right? The secretary to FYI says the gas to energy agreement cannot be released now. Maybe you read it yet. Maybe too busy on these outreaches taking notes. The things that doesn't necessarily fall under his portfolio. Well, they're telling us, guys, that through the government of Guyana and the United States, or giant ExxonMobil, they have inked this agreement for massive gas to energy project being developed. The agreement cannot be made public just yet. Again, that's the contention of the Minister of Natural Resources, Vikram Bharat. Yep, state secrets. And there's a number of other agreements. And again, a number of other agreements that they have said cannot be released to the public now for one reason or the next. And what is striking to most folks is that the guys come afterwards, Dolly Anderson, Linton, and Sasha Trim. They come afterwards and they say, you know, they're a government of transparency and good governance and all those other things. But yet, the agreement cannot be made public yet. A report cannot be made public. The RSS report was one of those reports they say cannot be made public for one reason or the next, you know. And it boggles the mind because in the same sentence, you're going to see the government espousing their good governance, you know, badge and the transparency badge and all of that. But when you look closely, boom, you're faced with issues like this. It's quite strange and quite startling to see the very least. Quite strange and quite startling. And then you have this other headline following on the heels of that one, same week, you know, same news. Government refuses to disclose report by Canadian consultant who had speedily done this review of the $9 billion Payara project. And we've got some auditing issues without $9 billion even as we speak. Right, so here's another report that they don't want to disclose. What were the findings? And as Kaiju News said here in this headline, they had speedily done this review of the Payara project. And, you know, it's months later, it could be well over a year later, since this report was done and submitted by this very controversial Canadian consultant. And we are yet to hear what the findings were in the report. And then in this other issue, the minister is saying that for this new agreement with the gas shore agreement with ExxonMobil, they can't release it just yet. You see? Yep. Stranger than fiction, some would say. Stranger than fiction. We're still going to hold for that. Again, in the second instance with the Payara project, it's more than a year since that review was done. Right? Since that review was done, and we are still waiting as a nation. And what is troubling is that on the other side of that, folks will say, you know, transparency, that's our badge of honor. Transparency is our badge of honor. And we did talk about that Payara $9 billion that supposed to be audited. Well, Attorney Law Christopher Ram is telling us that the others hailing down a dangerous road if all the auditors are doing is merely checking the bills. And what he says forward is that you need a more forensic look. I mean, we have to pay back this $9 billion. If ExxonMobil says they spend this $9 billion as pre-oil costs to set up the thing, to make sure everything was up and running so that we can start the production, we have to pay that back. Then we have to make sure that every cent was spent on what they said they're spending money on. $9 billion. $9 billion. There was a first amount that was spent, that was audited under the last government. The report is public knowledge. And this $9 billion is like pulling teeth. Took a long time. Took a very long time to award the contract to do the auditing. And now that it's on the way, finally, there's a lot of issues. And here's Chris Ram saying that he can't just look at the bill and say, hey, you know, 500 million for something, put it on one side. 200 million for something, put it on one side. You need more than that. You know, was it value for money spent? Was the thing actually bought? Those are some of the issues we see in one of the headlines that Christopher Ram is raising this morning, raising this week. Lots of information flowing in terms of oil and gas. And then again, another issue, look like the whole, everything in the morning papers is oil and gas. The gas energy project will likely destroy Guyana's water supply. And geologist Simon Mangal-Jolly is purporting this in one of the morning papers, that this gas energy, same gas energy where they can release the report, release the agreement between ExxonMobil and the government. Geologist Simon Mangal-Jolly says, this project is likely to destroy Guyana's water supply system. Now, when they're saying destroy Guyana's water supply system, that's something to really sit up to. That is something to really sit up, because, you know, land of many waters, like in we veins and in our blood. So when folks saying, you know, like we gotta change the motto now, you know, we gotta change our mantra, land of many waters and so forth. Because if the water system becomes, you know, disrupted, contaminated, you name it, then where are we? And see, that is why these impact studies are so important. That is why the impact studies are so important, because they will tell you whether this thing is going to have this kind of spin-off effect, one way or another. But if they keep waving them, you and I as citizens, Margaret Nelson and Carol Roberts and Glenford Gordon, Sheila Boyd Child and Alec Cummins, we don't get the benefit of ensuring that it is safe for us who inhabit this country, and not just the folks who come to make a quick dollar and beat out from where they come from. Right? So the geologist is saying there, this gas to show project slated for Wales could be problematic. I think we ought to look at it quite differently. I mean, we have been saying, folks have been saying, those who are stakeholders in this process, which is you and I, really and truly, we look at this thing, slow down. It's so much that is shifting on it. The price tag was under $500 million US. Now it's close to $1 billion US, and it seems to have a number of other challenges. And that's just one of the things, folks. One of the things that we're looking at in the morning papers. One of the things making the headlines in the morning papers. Just one of them. Yep. We're going to turn our attention to some things happening internationally, folks. Some of the things happening internationally. Yeah. We're going to turn our attention there, folks. Irvin Dunn, I see you there. And Don Sullivan, Tim Ford, Gary Cook, I see you. Turina Cummins, Elwood Brooms, I see you there as well. Folks, as you come on, as you join the broadcast, share the live for us. Smash that emoji button. Partner with us. Partner with us. Look what's happening, guys. Look what's happening here in Indonesia. They say in Java, Indonesia, Mount Semeru has erupted and thousands are on alert to be evacuated. Thousands on alert. Is it me? Or Father coming for you all soon? Because there's a number of eruptions. We were talking just last week about Hawaii and that eruption in Hawaii. Now this is Indonesia. This is Indonesia, and thousands are on alert as this Mount Semeru has erupted, and you know, waiting for the signal to evacuate. Wars and rumors of war, is earthquakes, is volcanoes, is you name it. That look little you know, that look like things to me. all the reasons, folks, to stay close to the Father. Stay close to the Father. All the more reasons to stay closer to the Father. Yep. This other headline, folks, of things happening. Where are we? All right, let me miss this one. Yeah, we spoke about this, that talks, in both this and the other story we're going to share with you guys, Russia is open to talks with Ukraine concerning ending this war, but Putin looks as though he wants this thing to conclude in his terms, the settlement to be on his terms and his terms only. All right, so it's one of the things we're following. All right, that's one of the things we're following, folks. And closer to home, again, bearing truth to that adage that in international relations, there are no permanent enemies, there are no permanent friends, the only permanent interest. This American company, Chevron in Venezuela, has formally now signed oil contracts in Caracas over the weekend. You remember there was a halt to that over some issues with governance in Venezuela, and what's his name? Not Chavez. Who's the current guy? Maduro. Right? There were some concerns here, and things have halted. Well, things are slowly picking up pace again in terms of Venezuela and its oil production. Right? You know what it says to me in this whole process? Only people you can count in is yourself. It's yourself. Because we were going on the fact that the Americans need us, because look what happened with Venezuela and them and the fallout and so on. Well, they're falling back. They're falling back now. So the only folks you can really depend on is you. They say in international relations, there are no permanent enemies, there are no permanent friends, only permanent interests. Only permanent interests. So when you see them boys swinging in another direction quick, sir, don't get vexed. You see, even on the Russian front, them boys want peace. Right? Peace is profitable. War is profitable to some people too. Right? But them guys said, a settlement with Ukraine looks like it's on the horizon. And then in Venezuela, them machines cranking the back too. Keep on churning out the oil, guys. So keep on churning out that oil. We turn our attention to folks to some of the things happening in the 592. Barbara McDonald, Yolanda Thomas, and I see Mona Moore is here. We're going to have all of you guys and all of the folks who just listed as Facebook user. I'm seeing you guys too. Anna Cummins and Sheila Boyd Child. No permanent enemies, no permanent friends. Only permanent interests. That's interesting. That is interesting, folks. We're following some of the things making the morning papers, getting a little tied up at our end. Sorry, guys. Hold on there for us. So trying to sort out our notes, but guys, you can help us? Oh, good. I have it. Sorry. Feel a little paggery. feel a little paggery on this side. All right, let me see where we are. Yep. So I'm trying to grab my notes, guys. I think I have it. Bear with me. All right. Just one of those things. All right. So, guys, if you have a story for us, do let us know. Do let us know if you have a story for us. We don't care if it's in the diaspora or it's where we are. If you have a story for us, boom, that's the number we want you to WhatsApp, and let us know wherever you are. You got a story for us. We're following up on a lot of things. A lot of things we're following up on. You can see some articles should have our website later on in the course of the day. But if you got a story for us, that's where you wanna contact. And while we're on that, folks, if you got some legal needs,
needs and more, the Alistair Collins firm is the place for you. If you are looking to have your statutory declarations done, affidavit of income, affidavit of identity, or guidance replacing your damaged or lost passport or lost license, you need the Alistair Collins firm. They can also help you with tenancy agreements, agreements of settlement, your power of attorney, your last will and testament, and certification of documents. The Alistair Collins firm is located at the Callion Mall, 162 Lamar Street in Georgetown between Camp and Waterloo Streets. Alistair Collins is a commissioner of oaths to affidavits and a justice of the peace. You can also call them at 649-6410 or 685-6446 or 503-1451. The Alistair Collins firm, help when you need it. For all your legal document needs and more, the Alistair Collins firm is the place for you. If you are looking to have your statutory declarations done, affidavit of income, affidavit of identity, or guidance replacing your damaged or lost passport or lost license, you need the Alistair Collins firm. They can also help you with tenancy agreements, agreements of settlement, your power of attorney, your last will and testament, and certification of documents. The Alistair Collins firm is located at the Callion Mall, 162 Lamar Street in Georgetown between Camp and Waterloo Streets. Alistair Collins is a commissioner of oaths to affidavits and a justice of the peace. You can also call them at 649-6410 or 685-6446 or 503-1451. The Alistair Collins firm, help when you need it. For all your
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. And if you got some advertising need, we got some advertising space like right here for you. Your business, your service, your event, your entity, whatever it is, you need some PR on it, we got you covered, folks. We got some ad space right there, like right there. That's the number we want you guys to call. That's the number, folks, we want you guys to call. And still, we're doing our series on Christmas deals. On Christmas deals, folks. And if you've been out shopping and you got a good deal, some folks have reached out to us and we've been following up on them. If you have been out shopping and you got a good deal, you spot a good deal somewhere, let us know. Don't keep everything to yourself. Don't keep everything to yourself. Let us know if you spot a good deal somewhere. You know, we spotted some at curtains and drapery. We spotted some at. Do we have that one? We spotted some at. Is it Best Buy? Payless. We spotted some there. We spotted some at Gizmos and Gadgets as well. Some good Christmas deals, folks. If you spotted some deals at your end, do let us know. If you spotted some at your end, some good Christmas deals, do let us know, folks. Yep. And we're going to circle back to one of them. We're going to circle back to one of all these we spotted, folks. But back to what's brewing locally. Brewing locally. And this story is still rumbling on, pertaining to the Deborah Harbor Bridge and that vessel that slammed into the bridge, and $1 billion in repairs later. $1 billion in repairs later. The lawyers for that company, remember the boat they said left without authorization? The boat, the authorities have told us, left without authorization. Well, the lawyers for that company, the boat company, said that no cash deposit is necessary for the release of the Panamanian vessel. All right? No cash deposit was necessary. Folks, this look like it can be with us throughout next year. This one look like it's going to be with us throughout next year as well, folks. You know, the lawyers have now stepped in. They said no cash deposit was necessary, even though the company had paid over quite a few millions of dollars. What do they call it? I'm trying to remember the phrasing that's given to it. Surety, something of that nature. The lawyers saying that they need to pay anything. We're going to keep following this one, guys. And there's another story we follow. You know, Joshua Public Hospital, again, maternity issues. And in this particular case, a family, the graphic is off. Thanks, guys. A family is very worried because they are saying that they don't know what contributed to the death or the death of a baby, or the baby being born stillborn. Right? The family is seeking answers. That should have been the headline. Family seeks answers in death of unborn at Joshua Public Hospital Corporation, and the father, German Gribben, whose photograph you just saw there, is explained to the reports that we have here, explained to the news media that everything seems to have been going well, and then suddenly things took a very drastic turn, and they're seeking answers now as to why this baby was stillborn. And I think we really got to do a lot of work where this is concerned. Got to do a lot of work when this is concerned, because we're seeing too many deaths like this, too many maternal deaths, and we thought we'd turn the corner on this, especially at the Georgia Public Hospital Corporation. But it seems as though we're going back into this phase, this period, this whatever you want to call it, at the Georgia Public Hospital Corporation. You know, and that's that. It's a very sad time for this family during this Christmas season. Definitely, and our thoughts and prayers are with them. Our thoughts and prayers are with them. Folks, you know, Christmas is upon us. Christmas is upon us, and lots of us doing the most. Lots of us doing the most. We want to tell you all, you know what? Take it a little easy. Take it a little easy at your end. Do that for us. One man over the weekend at Good Hope lost his life while trying to put up a Christmas tree. You know, I love the season much less than anybody else, but don't kill yourself over it. Right? He said he was electrocuted while trying to put up a Christmas tree. And the thoughts and prayers go to his family. Deepak Ramdeen trying to put up a Christmas tree at Good Hope and met his demise in this man. Electrocuted. See? You know, we were discussing last week, and it's food for thought here, how we as a culture appreciate Christmas. You know, breaking up house and so on. It's Guyanese, you know. Whether at home or abroad, breaking up house. The very term is so savage. You're breaking up house. It's the only people. A month before, isn't it a month? You know, you put away everything that was right there, like it was right there a moment ago. Then you take it, throw it back. A fresh feeling. It's like we're the only people in the world that does this. How did we get like that, Mary Lou? Sheila Boychel, how did we get like that? Beverly Trim, how did we get so? We're like the only country on earth that got this breaking up house mentality. And you gotta get the blinds, you gotta get the chair back, you gotta get the roast pork. You know, that is uniquely us. No matter how small the budget is, people are gonna walk with you in the street till you find everything you want on that little budget. That's why we've been trying to help you all out with some of the Christmas deals that are happening. Right? We're enablers too. So you can stretch that dollar. And I think it's Sheila Boychel who says it well. He said, we're just different. We are different. We're different. You see? I think too is Guyanese. You got barrels and barrels of blinds. Some of you will never use again in your lifetime, but just knowing it's there. Right? You don't give this away. You got blinds 15 years ago. And 15 years from now, you don't use that none, but you don't give it away. Barrels and blinds and, you know, the wardrobes or the wardrooms, as we say, of blinds, the drawers of blinds, and chair back and, you know. So now we're really knitting as we used to. Chair backs and the chair cushions and so on. It's uniquely Guyanese. Guys, we're saying, take it easy. Take it easy. Right? Take it a little easy for Christmas, guys. Take it a little easy. Good? Take it a little easy. We're watching this bridge in the Blacker. This bridge is an area in at the back of Tocqueville. They call it the Blacker. And this area here joins Sophia with Tocqueville, really and truly. The very back of Tocqueville. It joins Tocqueville with Sophia. Well, a lot of eyebrows were raised recently. The guys are saying this bridge is going to cost 50 million to repair. 50 million to repair. Folks, we could build, you know, how many houses you could build like decent houses? At least two. Let's say 25 million. And one bridge. I know this area here. It's not a huge trench. Right? I saw one comment on social media says that they must be building a 4-lane bridge here. A 4-lane bridge. 50 million. I said, money has become so. What is it? Devaluation, the dollar? What was happening here? 50 million. Hold on there first, guys. 50 million for this bridge. Right? 50 million. I think we gotta spend taxpayers' money with little prudence. A little concern. 50 million. Now, everybody wants a good bridge. I want to know who building the bridge. What are building it with? I want to see the specs. 50 million. Of course, I said a lot of eyebrows. If you see the comments on social media over the weekend, 50 million. I mean, it surely raised my eyebrows too. Maureen, Sheila Boychild, Gwen Anderson, Desiree Albert, 50 million. Yep, we're going to be following this one, I can tell you that. We are going to be following this one. Come back to us, thanks. So this is another one we're looking at, guys. There are so many issues we've been pointing out to you, and we can kind of delve into this a little deeper in our podcast. Where concerns our indigenous communities, and we don't hear from the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, but you see money time. Shuman urges indigenous leaders to prepare for the carbon credit funds. They said part of this money we received on the sale of these carbon credits recently to Hess Corporation is going to be channeled back to channeled to indigenous communities. Shuman has waited. He said, telling indigenous leaders to prepare, start doing up the plans and so on, have the proposals. It's kind of funny because it's an administration that don't listen to plans and proposals. They come and say, this is what's happening. Where was for instance, the study that was done that the indigenous community needed solar panels? Now they go and say, this is what's going to happen. We bring in this. Full stop. Shuman says to them, to the indigenous leaders, you all start crafting the plan what you're going to spend this money on. Right? You all start crafting the plan. Read yesterday's Starbucks News on the Amstel Neighborhood Democratic Council and the PPP, and you'll see how much PPP listens to local authorities and so on your plans. So, we thought it was quite humorous. She would say, y'all start drawing up your plans what you all need this money to be spent on. Is that going to be an effort in futility? Is it? Is it going to be that? Is it? Yeah. All right. Watch to see how that one unfolds as well. One of the things really raising eyebrows locally, so we've been following it, is the award of contracts. And that's the big issue this morning. The award of contracts, folks. This is an eyebrow raiser. Because when you look at it, it looks as though I saw, let me be frank, I saw Hindus who were complaining, like it's only Muslims getting contracts. It's the only people of Irfan's faith getting contracts. Right? And then Afro-Guyanese say, like it's only Indo-Guyanese getting these big contracts. Very interesting. How many Afro-Guyanese businesses are involved in the oil and gas sector, has gotten contracts in the oil and gas sector? How many of them? I see Hughes, Fields and Sobey, the law firm of Hughes, Fields and Sobey, best law firm in my humble estimation in the country. My lawyers too. Come up with some information on the award of contracts. Who is getting what? And it seems to support this whole idea and school of thought that some of this, a large portion of these contracts are being given out favoring a certain ethnicity, a class of people, and you can add on from there a whole study almost when you look at it. And we had the president on from the Caribbean Guidelines Institute of Democracy just last Friday, and we're talking about this very issue. They did a study of the National Tender and Procurement Administration Board, again, looking at this whole issue of contracts as well. And some of what they saw, Maureen, if their methodology, how they went about doing that study is accurate, it's a little frightening too. Don Sullivan, Candidaline Inderjit, Gil Alicock, it's a little frightening when you look at it, if you go with them on that. Right? And then the other side of it too is what I think is a very mature position that we saw quite recently. Ralph Ramkaran, writing in his column for Sabbath News yesterday, pulled out a position on how we might look at this. Again, Ralph Ramkaran in yesterday's Sabbath News. Do I have it here? Yeah. And this is what Ramkaran said. Part of what he said in that column. The title of the column was, "Won't it be a great day for Guyana if?" And then you see those ellipses and the question mark. Won't it be a great day for Guyana if? You know, the three dots there, the grammatical term is ellipses, just in case. Since we talk about ellipses, it's a colon. So we see the ellipses and the question mark. That's the title of the column. Won't it be a great day for Guyana if? And Ralph Ramkaran, attorney at law, and is the deputy leader for the what party is that? One of the parties, ANUG, a new and united Guyana. He's deputy leader for ANUG, attorney at law and columnist for Sabbath News. He says there's a dire need in Guyana for the terms of the discourse on the political solution, whether through one Guyana or inclusive governance. There's a dire need for the political discourse. There's a dire need for the discourse or the political solution to be based on foundational realities. They must be based on foundational realities. And he says that an internationally credible study needs to be undertaken by an agency of the United Nations into allegations of discrimination and marginalization. He goes on to say that there should be an investigation as well by this agency of the UN into allegations of discrimination in the award of government contracts, identification of discriminatory policies, the distribution of poverty among ethnic communities, and the recommendation of measures to ensure equal opportunities for all ethnic groups. I think it's a mature way to go about doing it. You see, last year or 2 years ago, even can shouting down, chase them out, you see, trying to upturn vehicles by Pegasus, and then you come saying, oh, we will have one Guyana, and we will go against anybody who don't want one Guyana the way we want it. So is it just one Guyana when you're in front? Or is it one Guyana irrespective of who is leading the country? Because to talk one Guyana is one thing. You know, South Africa had its own Truth and Reconciliation Commission and all of that. But I think this is a very mature position to take. Let an independent body come in from the UN and let them take a look at what's happening and tell us, what do they see? And then give us some recommendations. See, it's easy to go about and talk one Guyana, we like everybody and all of that. Right? And then when somebody says, look, when you look at how contracts are distributed, I think it's a little one-sided. Right? You put back and say, no, we're racial. I had black friends growing up. You know, we're not racial. We're one Guyana. Right? But why not let's do a study, as Ralph Ramkaran is saying here. Freddie Kissoon did a masterful piece of writing in 2010, 2011 on, again, this whole issue of racism. And when he looked at it, and one of the things Freddie Kissoon pointed out Right? When he looked at the public service, he said the public service in this country is dominated by Afro-Guyanese. They gravitate to the public service. Right? They also go off to university and pursue studies, public policy and, a whole host of other things that enable them to function effectively and efficiently in the public service, in the public sector. Right? And he said when he did that study and he looked at it, even though Afro-Guyanese had dominated in terms of sheer numbers in the public service, most, if not all of the departments were headed by an Indo-Guyanese, and this was under the PPP. Most, if not all of the major positions in the public service was headed by an Indo-Guyanese. And then when he looked at the distribution of land and who was getting large tracts of land, was mind-boggling. So again, it's easy. The talk is the easy thing. To go around and you're trumpeting one Guyana, we suddenly have peace and harmony. If you've not got to force it down our throat, you will have it. But I am siding with what Ralph and Francis said. Let's bring in an independent international organization to take a look at us. Right? We're a little biased when we're talking about we. But let somebody who is not a part of the melee come in, take a look at us and say, this is what we see here happening. But are we mature enough in this one Guyana to do that? That's another story. We got the money to do it. Do we have the political will? Right? To study myself, let somebody come in independent and have a look at us. Will we be happy with what we see? Maybe we want to look in the mirror. Maybe it's easier to talk. It's easy to discount what the opposition is doing or what you think the opposition is doing, who you perceive to be opposition. It's easy. But to do the hard work of truth and reconciliation and bringing real teeth to what one Guyana should be, could be, that's a different story. All right. And there's where we give the final word. And we can circle back to some of these issues on our podcast at 12. And then we see you guys back at 8 this evening. We're going to see you guys back at 8 this evening. Good to see you, Isabella Butchers. Good to see you, Candy Lillian. Good to see you, Sheila Boychild. Erwin Dunn. Erwin says it's one-sided Guyana. It's one-sided Guyana. Well, we have to contend with all these issues, right? And then see how best we proffer solutions. And I think it's a good direction, as Ralph Ramkran pointed out. Let's bring in somebody independent, credible, and independent. And let's have the stomach and the fortitude, to say, this is who we are. And get the recommendations, how we can move forward. Right? Thanks for joining us, guys. That's going to do it for us at this end. Wilton Blue, we see you. Desiree Albert and Patricia Craig, good to see you. Paul Cush, good to see you as well. And all the other guys who are joining us. Patricia Craig, we leave you with a live shot of the East Bank. And this is the entryway to the Mar Harbor Bridge, the largest floating bridge in the world, just underwent $1 billion in repair. It's got to be fit as a fiddle. Wilton Blue, we see you there, Desiree Albert, and all the other guys. Thanks for joining us. We're going to see you guys back on the podcast and later in the evening. Stay safe out there and have a productive day. Go ahead and be great. Stay safe.